Hi, I'm Graham, and this is an Oxford Revise exam explainer. In this one, we are going to talk about English Language, Paper 2, Question 4. Let's start by thinking about how Question 4 is presented to you in the exam paper. So here's an example. This Question 4, as they all do, directs you to use both sources in their entirety. So for Question 4, you deal with the whole of source A and the whole of source B. You are then given a question focus. Let's think about how this is set up. So you're asked first of all to compare, to connect, to link. How the writers in those sources convey their different thoughts and feelings about their sons. So that focus, the different thoughts and feelings about their sons, is your question focus. Very important that as you write your answer, you're always writing about that particular bit. You're given bullet points to guide you. They remind you of the parts of the question. So first bullet point, compare their different thoughts and feelings about their sons. Comment on the methods they use to convey their thoughts. It's very important, this one, because students often do forget in their haste to say something about the language or structural choices made by those writers to convey their thoughts. Make sure you don't, okay? Finally, you're wanting to point to specific instances, quotations, references to back up your points. So what would be a useful strategy for tackling question 4? Let's look at a 5-stage model. So on the screen, as ever, it's important that you keep focused upon the question. So start by underlining that question focus. Make sure you remember that's what you're addressing as you write. And then select those details, ideas, information from each source that are going to help you answer the question. Find your references, find your quotations. Step 3, identify like-for-like perspectives in both sources. Make sure you're comparing sensible points. Step 4, also part of your planning. Don't forget to identify bits of language or structural features that the writers make that show their viewpoints. Now, once you've done that and the time comes to write your response, and step 5, start by summarizing those comparisons. Explicitly state what the writer's perspective is. Pin it down, show the examiner that you've identified their thought, feeling, or perspective. Show the point of comparison by using those quotations you identified. And then give your energy and time to commenting on the information. Show your thinking, show your understanding. Remember that in this case, as with all reading questions, the detail, the thoughtfulness, the perception in your comment is what is going to determine your mark. Make sure along the way, of course, that you do make reference to language and structural choices, and show your examiner that you have an understanding of how the writer's choice of language influences and shows the way they think. Okay, thank you very much for listening to those tips and that strategy. All the very best from Oxford Revise with the rest of your studies.